Here we go. Good morning. Today I want to talk to you about the Battleship New Jersey, one of Greater Philadelphia's most must-see attractions. The ship is steeped in history and is a testament to the Philadelphia spirit. Built and commissioned in the Philadelphia Navy Yard in 23 May 1943. This is a picture of her on her commissioning day. And it's the Philadelphia skyline, which is much different than it is today. It was an enormous ship for her time at a length of 887 feet and a beam of 108 feet. She boasted 9 16-inch guns capable of shooting a 2,700-pound shell over 23 miles. The 53,000 square foot deck was all covered in teak. So this is kind of like the front view coming at you, which is pretty massive. And the reason that she had to be kept under 110 feet is this. So this is her going through the Panama Canal. And if you can make it out, there's probably like 7 inches on each side for her to get through. So any bigger, and she's not getting through the Panama Canal, which is obviously, a must for any Navy ship to quickly get to the Pacific or the Atlantic. She served in the Pacific Fleet during World War II, and then she was decommed in 1948. She was reactivated at the beginning of the Korean War, and then served heroically during the Korean War, when she was again placed back in the Fleet Reserve in 1957. As the war in Vietnam raged, she was again reactivated in 1967. At the end of that war, and due to budget constraints, she was placed again in the Fleet Reserve. And she stood there until the height of the Cold War, when Ronald Reagan was trying to build his 600 fleet Navy. And then in 1982, she was recommissioned, and she served for 9 years until her final decommissioning in 1991. There's some pictures of her at war shooting her 16-inch guns. Another picture. Pretty impressive guns. Those shells are basically the size of a Volkswagen. So imagine something hurling a Volkswagen 23 miles. It's pretty amazing. So at the time of her requirement, according to the Navy History website, she was the most decorated battleship in the history of the Navy. With this rich history, visitors are offered 3 ways to enjoy this attraction. On the museum website, there are detailed descriptions of the tours and the prices. I'm just going to give you a brief overview. All right, there's 3 unique tours for visitors. The first one's a firepower tour, which is $25, and that's just a basic self-guided tour throughout the ship minus the engineering spaces. There's the Steam to Speed for $30, which is a tour of the engineering spaces. And then the final tour is a Turret 2 tour, which is a guided tour for $30 that takes you into Turret 2 and allows you to see how those guns were fired. On top of the tours, they offer 2 other experiences. An overnight stay. So this is a little perspective of the 16-inch guns and how big those bores really are. There's a little tour, like the cruise mast and the bridge. And then here's the Turret 2. So you can see these are the shells. So on the overnight stay, you get a tour, they serve you a meal, and you get to sleep on board just like you would like if you were a sailor. That's kind of, they've got the Boy Scout troop here, sleeping in their racks, serving food on the line. That's $75 per person. And you can also reserve different spaces on the ship for venues, like if you want to have a retirement ceremony, a wedding, a party, any kind of event you want, you can have this unique venue. And those prices vary depending on what area you choose. The USS New Jersey is open year-round from 9:30 to 5. The museum is run for a not-for-profit organization called the Homeport Alliance. Donations to this historic attractions are tax deductible, and not only is this attraction great for war buffs who can walk through the footsteps of such great Americans like Admiral Halsey, Admiral Nimitz, and General Omar Bradley, it's great for Philadelphia history buffs who want to see the massive structure that was manufactured in one of the greatest cities in the world. The attraction is equally entertaining for people interested in engineering, with four massive 110,000 horsepower engines, advanced hull designs, and the ability to push 57,000 tons of steel and equipment over 33 knots. This would make a great visit for any engineering enthusiast. To discover more information on this truly magnificent part of American and Philadelphia history, visit the museum website at www.battleshipnewjersey.org. Are there any questions?
Yes, so Ron, I have two actually. So my first one goes back to what you said in the beginning about keeping the ship limited to a certain length. That the advantage of getting through the Panama Canal. What would have been the advantage had the boat been significantly longer?
Well, if they made the ship larger, the advantage would have been you could put more armament on it. These battleships really had thick steel to kind of make them sink proof, right? So as shells would hit them, it wouldn't be able to penetrate the armor. So, the wider you make it, the longer you make it, the more armament you can put on, the more weapons you can put on. So that would kind of been the benefit. And back in the World War II days, it was all about the guns, right? There wasn't like this advanced technology and explosives that could be packaged this, in a size this big and sink a whole ship. So you really needed that firepower to do damage.
Now, my second question is, was there a criteria that this ship had to meet in order to become an attraction and not just a mothballed or decommissioned?
Yeah, so there's a whole process that organization has to go through to petition the Navy to get one of these ships. One of the amazing things about the New Jersey, it would just happen so quickly. They really got the paperwork through quickly, and a process that normally takes 3 to 4 years took 6 months. And I think it was just the luck that it was built in the Navy Yard in Philly. It did its decom. It offloaded all its equipment in New Jersey, and then it was just right there for the taking. And I think the organization presented a great plan, and luckily they got it. And it's a beautiful ship if you ever get out there to see it. Anyone else? All right, thank you very much. Have a great day. Stay safe. Don't shake hands.